All right, so another Middle Eastern fragrance haul video, and again, this one is also going to be sponsored by BanadirFragrance. So definitely shouts out to Salim over there at BanadirFragrance for sending me 3 out of the 4 fragrances that I have in this video. So just to kind of start off what I have here, I'm going to start off with the one that I actually paid for, and that one is going to be Spicy Amber from F.A. Paris Fragrance World. All right, the next one, which was sent to me for free, is going to be Invicto Legend. Next, I have F from Fragrance World, and this is the Eau De Parfum version. And then the last one here is going to be from Art Al Zafran, and this is going to be called Riqqa. All right. So, like I said, I did go ahead and pay for this one. This one, I had seen the collection of these fragrances. I saw these maybe a few weeks ago, and I was pretty intrigued just by looking at the bottles. Now, I didn't know exactly what these were cloning, so I did go ahead and look that up. And from what I could see, these are Matière Première fragrances that they're cloning. This one in particular is cloning one that's called Encens Suave or Encens Suave. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but that's pretty much what this one is cloning. All right. So this is a very heavy incense fragrance, I would say. Really realistic incense. Like, I would say pretty much like somebody lit some incense and just basically like waved it around on your clothes. That's pretty much what you're getting with this fragrance. Not very much sweetness at all, at least from what I can pick up in the fragrance. You do get, I would say, a little hint of vanilla in this particular fragrance, as well as the original, which I do have the original in a sample here. I'm not really going to be going over too much in regards to, how close these are in this video. That will be a separate video. But what I will say is, these are definitely extremely close. So I can absolutely say that for sure. But yeah, pretty much if you are someone that doesn't necessarily like incense in fragrances, even when it's kind of, subtly done, I would say that you're not going to like this one at all. This is, very heavy on incense for sure, very smoky. And I would say, again, the sweetness on this it's there, to a certain extent, but it's definitely not, I would say, the main part of this fragrance. All right. So again, this one is going to be Spicy Amber from F.A. Paris Fragrance World. And then the next fragrance that I have here is Invicto Legend. All right. So this is going to be the clone of Paco Rabanne's, Invictus Legend. So this, I would say, so far at least, this one was my favorite smelling fragrance out of all of the ones, that I got, especially out of the ones that he sent me. Basically, this one was definitely my favorite one. Now, I did wear this last night. It seems like for as strong as, this projects, I would say for probably like the first 2 hours, you would think that it lasts longer. Now, I don't know if I'm going nose blind to this fragrance, but it seems like after maybe about 5.5 hours, like this fragrance was gone. And I mean, I think when I looked at the production date on the box for this, it wasn't like this was like produced this month or anything like that. I believe this fragrance was produced like months ago, if not maybe years ago. I don't think it was years ago, but I think it was produced at least maybe a few months ago. So, I mean, I would say by now it should probably be, maturated or whatever. That process, I guess, pretty much it starts once you actually spray the fragrance. I'm not 100% sure, with a lot of these Middle Eastern fragrances, but what I can say is definitely the performance, at least on me, when it comes to the longevity, it did seem to be a little disappointing, at least so far. So I guess time will kind of tell exactly how the performance goes as this one kind of sits on my shelf and as it gets sprayed more. But I mean, again, definitely for, I would say probably the first 2 hours, this stuff is beast mode. The sillage is crazy, absolutely crazy. So I would say definitely check this one out. From what I understand, the original fragrance is actually discontinued. So this may actually be, you know, your only sort of alternative other than paying like a, you know, really high inflated price for, you know, the original bottle on a site like eBay or something like that. So again, this is going to be Invicto Legend from Fragrance World. All right, and then the next one that he sent me was going to be F from Fragrance World. And this is a Eau De Parfum concentration. Now, this is supposed to be a YSL Y clone. Now, to my nose, what I got from this was pretty much YSL Y EDT. Now, I've never actually worn or smelled the original version of YSL Y EDT, but I have had for several years now Sensual Obsessions version of YSL Y EDT. And as soon as I sprayed this on, this is pretty much what it reminded me of. So again, I'm assuming pretty much that that's what this is. If anyone knows that this is something different, then definitely feel free to correct me in the comments. But based on what I'm smelling here, that's pretty much what I'm getting from this. I have a sample of the original coming to do a side-by-side comparison video with. So hopefully this is a clone of YSL Y EDT. It's, you know, very fresh up top, very citrusy, has sort of like a muskiness to it, aldehydic pretty much. So this one is definitely going to be one that I definitely plan to wear a lot in the summertime. As you can see, I mean, I ran through this, you know, Sensual Obsessions bottle. I just have a tiny bit left here. Now, this bottle is about 4 years old. So, you know, I mean, obviously I don't wear the fragrance every day, but definitely that was a fragrance that I enjoyed a lot. It was kind of like a dumb reach type of fragrance where, you know, on a really hot day, you just wanted to smell fresh and good. You know, that was pretty much one of the fragrances that I just kind of threw on. So definitely getting that vibe from this fragrance as well. So again, this is going to be F Eau De Parfum from Fragrance World. And then the last fragrance that Salim sent me is going to be from Art Al Zafran, and this one is going to be Riqqa. All right. So Riqqa, this is pretty much Camera for the most part. I will say that this does seem to be, like, in my opinion, slightly more brighter and just a little bit more louder than what Camera is. I would say not really by much, maybe a few % or whatnot. But that was the main thing that I kind of got from this fragrance. For the most part, I would say if you're like kind of spraying the two side by side and smelling them back and forth, there's not really going to be too many differences between the two. Again, other than the fact that I would say that the one thing that I noticed, you know, from the opening spray, even into like the far dry down, it seemed like when I was kind of going back and forth between the fragrances, it seemed like this one had just a little bit more power than what Camera had. So, I mean, I would say if you're someone who already owns Lattafa Camera, there's absolutely no reason for you to buy this fragrance. If you're someone who has had Camera and didn't like it, there's no reason for you to buy this fragrance. I would say that this is for someone who, you know, I would say maybe hasn't smelled Lattafa, you know, Camera, but you like those really sort of, you know, thick, sweet, you know, kind of boozy, praline sort of fragrances. If that is something that you like, then I would say, you know, definitely pick this one up. I believe, you know, the price of this is about the same pretty much as what Camera goes for. So, you know, I mean, pretty much it's up to you. I mean, I guess if you're someone who prefers the way that the Camera bottle looks, then, you know, maybe go for this one. But again, this one does seem to have a little bit more, I would say, stronger presence when it comes to like the projection, and the longevity seems to be a little bit longer as well. All right. So again, this is going to be Riqqa from Art Al Zafran. All right. So I will have, you know, kind of videos individually for all these fragrances, obviously comparison videos, but just wanted to kind of let you all know that these fragrances are out there. And again, you can get all of these fragrances from BanadirFragrances.com. And you can definitely use my discount code VegasSense10. That'll get you an extra 10% off of your order. So definitely check Salim out over there at Banadir Fragrances. All right. So that is the video, man. Let me know, have you all smelled any of these fragrances? And if you have you smelled the originals? And how close do you think, you know, these fragrances actually come to the originals? All right. So let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. Also leave a like on the video as well. And once again, that's Jamar from Vegas Sense. I'll see you on the next video.